Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale and Josh Profit. Morning, Josh.
Good morning.
You know what today is?
Today is the last day of 2022. Unbelievable. I don't know if that's where you're headed or not.
That's exactly right. I don't know where this year went. It's been a fantastic year and everything else from Mel Hambelton Ford, Mel Hambelton Racing, Quick Lane, Big Corner Creative. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Or the other answer would be it's Saturday.
That's right. It is Saturday.
We were not live last week. We were off.
Yeah.
Had some time with family and Christmas and stuff like that. So sorry about those of you that wanted to get up Saturday morning and
listen to us.
Listen to us, so apologize about that. But hey, we're back.
We're back live, ready to go. It's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be, we're here to answer your questions. Get you a great price package, about over $130. As always, Josh, is for everybody calling in and with a question, what's in that great package?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related stuff, making sure that the vehicle's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. BG product package, which is going to consist of a can of MOA or motor oil additive, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, let's get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673. I'm going to throw another category out there.
Okay.
Bring up anything in the whole 2022. What was the most exciting thing you had happen to you, do, or change, or whatever? Love to hear from you. Anything in the world, and you'll get this great price package to take care of your car for the next 5,000 miles. So what was the most exciting thing that happened to you in 2022?
There you go.
Ready to go?
Cool. Yeah.
You going to throw one out, Josh?
Well, so I'm thinking back.
Hey, whoa. I know what I need to back up on. I forgot about it.
We'll get there. Yeah,
no.
There.
Yeah, we'll get there. I forgot about something. So
yeah.
Just now, I don't know. God damn, I'm terrible. I want to know what happened with the motorcycles is what I want to know.
So a couple boys.
I forgot about that.
Got some dirt bikes for Christmas. And
what boys? We got those? Your boys?
Yeah. Got some dirt bikes for Christmas. And so far,
are they all in one piece?
So far, the boys and the bikes are all in front, all in the one piece. But what I will tell you is their dad froze his off out there trying to coordinate or orchestrate not having a wreck for 2 days because there was no waiting for warmer weather. It was happening.
Let's get it on.
Dad was going or not.
Here's what I'm wanting to know though.
Yeah.
What rules did you throw out there on this riding? What handicap did you throw at them here?
Right?
Because I want to make sure these are correct rules. I might have to call your two boys up and tell them these aren't correct rules.
They're not the right rules. So honestly,
can they just get on and go whenever they want? That's first thing.
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah. To start out with, that's a no-go at this point in the juncture. So
dang, hard ass.
Yep, I know. So but so far everybody and everything is still around. My older boy is more of a know-it-all, if you will, and so
I got one of those too.
Yeah, he thinks he's got this and can do everything and has it down. And he's
what size? What size? He's 125.
125s, yeah. And he was the first one to.
Whoa! That thing. We got the Hoosier tires on them yet?
Not yet.
Whoa!
Not yet. Yeah. They that is in the works. I will tell you that for sure. But yeah, not
yet. Okay, I got you.
But he was the first one to drop it so far.
Okay,
because of the attitude, I think, more than anything. So
do you have? I don't know. I know they're
so
when you're
clutch. That's new to him. Been on bikes before, but everything to this point has been automatic. And so the clutch is new, and so we're
learning on that and everything else too. So you just can't let them. They can't. You think they're riding right now?
No, not. They're in the garage. At
supposedly,
we got to take them to the farm.
Supposedly, you got an hour meter on. You're watching an hour meter, aren't you?
I can assure you.
Or you're checking the gas level.
I can assure you that that it has happened. I didn't ask them, but I can assure you that it has happened, that they have been in the garage tinkering with them and on them and stuff like that during the week, this last week for sure. So, but today the weather is warm enough, so we're gonna get to do that this afternoon.
As soon as you get off the show, get over there and get them things fired up. It's pretty decent weather out
I'm
there.
not going to freeze this time. Like I did the last couple of days. So it definitely got cold last week, and but anyways, it's been a lot of fun. Got a couple of RC cars too. And
whoa! Let's talk about those.
Yeah, we broke.
Did you get the XRT or whatever?
They got the Maxes, which is
Maxes, still
it's
great.
It's we've had the Stampedes before and got the Maxes, and almost made it a full battery charge before we broke a control arm. But it's so there's a park next door to where we live, and it's got there's a big like a rock that says Ingweiler Park on it.
Yeah,
and it sticks up out of there. But anyways,
I think met that thing a couple times.
The car and the rock met, and the car gave and the rock didn't. But I think he thought he was a little bit to one side of it and hit it. I think probably about 60 miles an hour.
Well, at least that's cool.
Yeah.
Got it zinging pretty good.
It was the car did everything it needed to do in that particular situation. So, but got some parts ordered up for that and squared away. And so he broke, the older one broke his car and dumped his dirt bike. So I don't know.
There wasn't any,
any
tease and rolling in that deal. When he smack, as you would say, on those two, was there.
So definitely been a fun couple of eventful days. So, thinking back on 22 and everything that's happened, we've a lot of good things here at the store. And, when you're going like we are day in and day out and as fast as it is, man, you think back of different things, and it's like, that seems like that happened yesterday. And it turns out it was 4 years ago or something like that. But I would say, the second Quick Lane edition was huge for us. The warehouse, edition, and I know some of those are the warehouse edition has been another huge thing.
And just the growth inside of it.
Yeah, just the growth. I would say probably one of the biggest things is, the brick and mortars, but then in addition to that is just some of the quality people that we've
acquired over the year.
Acquired and taken on. And I really do think that's just from, doing the right thing and growing this thing as fast as we can, but also understanding that just not putting people in positions to have bodies and going after the right people and really, there's a lot of things that happen, I know, throughout my day, and I'm sure your day, that you think that, man, we could have done that so much better, or we really missed the mark there. But I really do believe that the staff and, Lisa's desire and your desire and, my desire is that we're here to do the right thing. And understanding that we can fall short of that and sometimes in some occasions, but everybody has the desire to want to pick up the ball and
run with it.
And
again, we're going to fail. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. And how I look at that is, how do we handle that mistake? If we try to push it under the rug, hey, shame on us. But that's not the attitude we take. If we make a mistake, we're going to hit it head on and fix it and make things happen. So, but anyway, real quick, Happy New Year to Claudia. Good morning, James Furman. Glad you're watching as always. And, of course, Robert Kenny here at Salesperson chiming in here too. So, anyway, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it is. But, again, tell us what your most exciting thing was for 2022, even though it's got, what do we got here? About another 20 hours left to go, something like that. 23, I can't, 21, I can't keep track.
You're way high on that.
Oh, yeah, I am way high. We're down to 12. We're down. Yeah, okay, shoot, I can't even add this morning, can I?
Somebody's already started on New Year's celebration, so.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somebody somewhere is celebrating New Year's.
So, anyways, get the phones ringing, and we get you great price package valued at over $130 for each and every caller. Love to hear from you. Most exciting thing for 2023, or if you do got something ailing in your car you want to hear about, let's talk about it and figure out what's going on.
I want to know, I got kind of an automotive question too for the listeners out there.
Okay.
And so seat heat specifically, I get a lot of people that talk about, or let me say this, climate control seats. Is that something in a vehicle? Is it something that you use? And do you use both the heated and cooled? Or I see so many people say that they don't prefer to use the cooled seats, but use the heated seats, and some people will use them all year long. And then some people don't. So opinions on heated seats or climate controlled seats, and if you use that. And then also later in the show, we could probably talk about the changes that how those have evolved, I guess, throughout the different years and stuff like that. So,
well, I'm going to tell you, I'm a heat seated dude and I'm a cool seated dude.
Yeah,
I'd use them both.
Use them both.
But you're right. I do hear people say, "Man, I hate that heated seat." And
so I don't hear the heated seat as much as the cooled seat. So a lot of people don't like the cool feeling. I
don't know. I get in that hot heat car, boy. Feels good to me.
Get her cooled off.
So let's have a poll on that. Who likes the heated seat? Who likes a cool seat? Or do you like both?
316. If you were going to go get a car, was that an option that you just absolutely would have to have, or you could give or take it?
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, my deal with the heated seats is you get warmer so much quicker.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate about winter. I hate being cold.
Yeah.
And it always takes so long for a heater to kick in and get going. But now let's back up a little bit. I'm driving that Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured out that to make the Blue Cruise work, you had to hook up Ford Pass. Okay. If you don't have Ford Pass hooked up to the truck on the Lightning, it won't work. Yeah. So got that fixed, got that going. But now I've done the remote start.
To where you can time when it goes.
Okay. So, and also the other thing I found out just yesterday too, is if you have the Ford Pass hooked up, you don't need your key. Your phone becomes the key.
Yeah.
So that was even better yet too. So now the remote start, I started that thing and then walked to the truck, got in the truck, and it was warm because it's electric heat.
Yeah.
It's instant heat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's where I love that part of it too. But I'm telling you, the heated seat to me is, and you're in a normal car, you got to wait for the engine to warm up and get heat and everything else where you feel warm and everything else. But you put the heated seat on, you're ready to go.
Yeah. And so that, I got a text here, but then also that's kind of where I was headed with that, is how they've evolved that electric heating grid into so many other things, like the Lightnings, obviously with them not having the internal combustion engine and that to be able to produce heat from the coolant, they had to come up with other ways of doing that. And so basically there's an electric heater grid in that Lightning that serves as a heater core. Well, Super Duty has done that for many years and have a supplemental heat or a initial heat because it takes so long for those trucks to get that coolant warmed up that there's a electric heating grid in some Super Duties. It's an option for you to be able to get, but it enables the cabin to heat up, previous to the engine heating up the coolant to allow the heater core to heat up the cabin. But then, we go further into electric heating components and, from the viewers, what are some of the other areas that they use these electric heating grids? Heated steering wheel is another one. And what do you think of that option and feature?
Yeah, we can talk about that too. So any of your heated options, got all kinds of things that make the phone ring today. 316-462-3673. Hey, morning, Tim Daniel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. James Furman's got a question coming up here. And basically we've been working on his Volvo.
Okay.
And have a car question. So a couple weeks ago, I had my mass airflow sensor replaced and had my spark plugs changed out. No, it seems to, I'm not sure if mischief is the right word, but it seems like, and I go to the next question here, it shifts back into second. I don't know, Furman. I think maybe what we're fighting there is what if the torque converter's kicking in and out?
Yeah, I guess
it's almost like it blows back when it shifts into second.
I would have maybe a couple more, questions to help identify exactly what's going on. But, the transmission, a lot of transmission concerns or conditions that customers may exhibit are misdiagnosed if the motor is not doing everything that it needs to do or being able to provide the power, or there's too much load on the engine, then the transmission kind of follows suit of that to basically give you the most power that you can. And so, I've seen people bring vehicles in and have transmission shifting concerns that it doesn't want to shift out of gear or stuck in a gear under high load. And, it's been something like a fuel filter or a mass airflow. I've seen bugs on mass airflow sensors cause problems like that. Or plug converters is another thing. If that engine's not allowed to breathe and produce the power that it needs for the load that the customer is demanding, then the transmission just kind of follows suit with that. And so, probably a little more qualifying questions to that, but the converter would be another thing. I see a lot of cases of converter shudder, and basically that's that transmission torque converter is just sitting there and it doesn't know whether to be engaged or disengaged, or there's not enough pressure or tension on it to hold it engaged, and then so you get that kind of jerky, slippy feeling coming from the transmission. So yeah, that could.
So anyway, Furman, I don't know if you could call in or not, and we can ask you a few more questions about it or whatever. But maybe probably the best thing is first of the week, let's get it in here and take a little test drive with you, and see what's going on there from the part. Anyway, Greg Murray comes up with the heated and cooled seat. He says I use them the same 30-minute test drive to work. Test drive, not it doesn't say test drive. I know I said test drive. Heated to break off the chill, and then leather, and then cool off the cool. So you kind of right up the deal. So anyway,
so I was going to say, what's the next heated feature you think?
Well, here's what I think I'm going to tell you. I'm not a big heated steering wheel fan.
Really?
I'm really not. I don't know why. I'm just not now. I don't know.
Wow.
But, well, hold on. Let me get more to my story here. So anyway, on the 23 F-150s, to start producing some of these trucks, they've taken some options out of these trucks. I hate it, but it is what it is. We're still fighting this supply chain demand. So a heated steering wheel is one thing that they're taking out of the trucks.
Yeah.
They're taking the massage seats out of the upper end trucks, and they're taking advanced security off, and they're taking the auto stop off, and different things. And I understand they're getting rid of chips so they can just build some more trucks and get the trucks out there in the feature. So that's the next thing I can say. We can talk about that feature too, is auto stop and stop, shut off, taking off these trucks too. So anyway, naturally, this Lightning has a heated steering wheel in it. What I didn't know by talking to some of my customers about the heated steering wheel is, and I don't know if you recognize this too, but the steering wheel will heat up real hot and then cool back down.
Yeah.
I didn't know it did that, because that's what I didn't like. It was too hot for my hand, for what I wanted to do or whatever. So now I've tried it, and sure enough, it is. It warms up real hot and it comes right back down, and then it's into it. So I'm becoming a more fan of a heated steering wheel than I used to be. I just didn't like that real hot temperature.
Initially. Yeah. Yeah. So, it's one of those things that, for me, it's like adaptive cruise control.
That's a whole.
But initially starting out, I'm like, man, I'm just not sure I could do this. But then after you use it and you get used to it, it's like going without it. It's like, what the heck? Where is that at?
I have to be careful when I jump in some vehicles, make sure it's got it, because sometimes I might be in the back end of somebody.
pretty quick,
pretty quick.
Right?
So anyway, 316-462-3673. Hey, talk about any features you like, don't dislike, what you got to have, and the most importantly is, if you came to purchase another car, what is the one feature that you'd absolutely have to have?
Yeah, and I'll talk about that auto stop for a little bit. And here's I don't know, I wish they would leave it on the trucks. I understand why they're pulling it back, but and here's my reasoning behind that, is because that initially come out, I think, in probably about 14, probably 14, 15, and just as consumers get that, or new technology, you kind of get a buzz around it of, man, I really don't like that. And they don't understand, why that feature is there, but they think, okay, well, I'm going to wear out my starter, I'm going to wear out my battery. But it's there for fuel economy. And, out of the many years, let's say 14 or 15, I cannot think of hardly very many influx or change in batteries or starters that
we've even done,
that you've ever done.
Agree.
Like putting a starter on something, I'm not going to say is impossible or it doesn't happen, but it's not something that
used to happen all the time
20 years ago or 30 years ago. Starters and alternators and drive belts and stuff like that. That was maintenance stuff, or radiator hoses, or stuff like that. That was so common, but you just don't you don't replace those items or components very much
You know.
anymore. And so from the consumer standpoint, they were worried about premature wear on those on the things, and they weren't seeing it from the fuel efficiency side of things. And
Yeah.
so I feel like the consumers have maybe kind of gotten used to it. So now if it goes away and then turns around,
they're
you know
gonna
they're
fight it
gonna
again.
you know they're gonna bring it back once they to keep their cafe ratings up later on. So,
and I think a lot of people don't realize what that's there for. The government gave the manufacturers extra points towards that cafe rating to hit it because it's a high number.
yeah.
But now that we've kind of come with electric cars to help that, and now we got these hybrids. I'm telling you, this hybrid F-150.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shutting off when as soon as you let off the gas, it's off, and you don't even feel it. They've done it so good of knowing when that engine starts and when it shuts off, and you don't have a clue. But think of the fuel economy it is, and it does. I mean, in town driving with the F-150 hybrid, and I got several customers will tell you the fuel mileage is incredible in town. Now, granted, it doesn't do anything at the highway. There's nothing you can change on a truck cruising down the highway with a hybrid to make it get any better fuel economy. But more that in town driving and stop and go driving, that hybrid is a killer on making better fuel economy. But you don't feel that engine shut off. They've done such a fantastic job of it. But I'm with you, Josh. I wish they'd leave it alone, but I get what they're doing, saving the chips and all that kind of stuff too. But 6 one half dozen the other, I guess. So hey, let's get the phones ringing. Love to hear from you. What's the most exciting thing happened to you in 2022? What's the feature you'd almost absolutely have to have if you bought another vehicle, or something you just depend on? Hey, we're still trying to figure out these heated seats and cooled seats, but I don't know. I'm a cool seat dude too, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one way or the other on that. And so, or the other thing, talk about remote start. How many people remote start their vehicle? I mean, pretty much everybody does it when it's really cold outside, like we had here the last couple of days. But do you do it equally as well if it's hot out? Or or
I'm going to tell you, I almost
stop in it and go.
Yeah, you really think about it. We have more hot days than we have cool days. It's like yesterday on the showroom floor, I was talking to one of our customers. He had his AC on yesterday.
Oh yeah,
because sitting in the sun.
Yeah,
granted, a 40-degree day, but the inside of that cabin was hot.
Yeah.
So you think about it, I do more remote start for the cold to cool that thing off than I do for hot. But again, it's actually than the other which way you're going to go or whatever too part. But remote start, man, like I said, that lightning hit that thing, walked out there, and that cabin was
ready
warm.
to go. Yep. Warm. Especially with it already on the charger and everything like that. You're not taking anything away
from it or nothing from that standpoint either. So okay, let's get the phones. We're going to 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Most exciting thing happened to you in 2022. Anything ailing your car, anything or I guess what is the number one feature you'd have to have on your next vehicle for you if you were going to trade? So 316-462-3673. Anyway, Josh, a couple of weeks, Chili Bowl.
It is. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, and gonna be here before we know it for sure.
So anyway, everybody, please stay tuned to the Facebook page. If you want to go to the Chili Bowl, we have tickets to every day at the Chili Bowl. We're going to be giving away some tickets each and every day for that. So stay tuned and watch for that contest coming up shortly. If you want to go down and see the Chili Bowl, and I'm going to tell you, I've been to a lot of NASCAR races, all kinds of races, dirt track. I've been to F1 races. I've been to the Indy 500. And I'm going to tell you, the Chili Bowl is my favorite race of any race there is to go to. So if you're looking to have some fun going down the Chili Bowl, stay tuned to our Facebook page and watch for our contest. And who knows what you'll have to do to win those tickets or whatever. But I'm sure we're going to bring it up, and it'll probably be again, a comment, like, and share the post we do. But it'll probably be your favorite race. I think last year we did the favorite race car driver. Yeah. So I think maybe this year we'll do it as a favorite. What's your favorite race you like to watch or go to or whatever? But please stay tuned to our Facebook page and watch out for the Chili Bowl contest coming up. Of course, we'll be live at the Chili Bowl, and we got Mr. Furman on the line, don't we?
Yep.
James, how are you, buddy?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty dang good for last day of the year.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Josh has got a few questions for you on your car. What's it's doing? I know we put a couple mass airflows on it and then some spark plugs and stuff like that. But kind of as you're driving, kind of explain to us what that Volvo is doing so we can figure out what's happening.
Yeah, and to come to your point, it does seem like it's like heavy on load when you get into it. And then when it hits second, it does it real hard. But when you're let out of the gas, it does engine brake pretty hard too.
When you get out of the gas?
Yeah. Like it'll start to drop in RPM pretty quick.
And so when you're feeling it shift to second, you're saying that it's just shifting really hard, or it's delayed, or
Yeah, it'll shift hard, but it feels like it like backs into it when it does shift,
and it's
and it get that kind of hard rock to it.
and it's just specifically second gear.
Yeah, and it seems like it goes through first, and when you get up to when it feels like it's going to go into second shift, then it feels like it kind of bogs down and then shifts hard.
Yeah. But third gear and up is fine, and first gear is okay.
Yeah, it
And
just seems like it.
Yeah, okay, into
Second
reverse
shift
as
is
well.
the hard one. Yeah.
So one of the things that I'd have you try is if you actually did it manually, and see if it changed anything there. But I am if it's just specifically second gear that you're feeling it on, then I would probably lean more towards something going on with the transmission, whether it be a pressure control issue or shift solenoid issue, something along those lines. But James, we'll throw a diagnostic onto your package. We'll take a look at that thing at no charge to you and see just exactly what's going on there, and if it is
and a check engine light did come on yesterday when I was on the highway. So,
but specific when it made that shift or no.
It seemed like it was running fine on the highway, and then I stopped at quick shift, got back in, and the check engine light was on. So, and then they kind of sound like it's kind of running a little rough.
Yeah.
Too after that. So.
Yeah, we'll throw a diagnostic onto your package and take a look at that thing and figure out just exactly what's going on. If there is something going on with the transmission, the sooner we can identify it and get it taken care of, the better for sure.
Right, and my worry is there's probably something else going on that's killing mass airflow sensors too. So
yeah, for sure. So we'll get that diagnostic onto your package and take a look at that thing as well. So James, if you were to order a new vehicle or get a new vehicle, what's the must-have option that it's got to have?
To run great. No.
To run great.
Yeah, with my luck. Lately I have been using my heated seats more, especially last week when it got downright.
Yeah,
cold.
really cold. Yep.
Yeah. And that's another thing I want to bring up too, was that my heater is doing something weird too, is that it kind of fluctuates when it's on.
Okay, so hold on there. That might be leaning towards where we're at here for a minute. Maybe that thing's not heating up good enough and making the mass airflow work and make the oxygen sensors not work. If that engine's getting hot and cold, we got a thermostat messing up.
So, or the other thing, when you say it's fluctuating, you mean like you hear the fan speed fluctuate or change?
Yeah. The fan will get high and then come back down low.
So okay, so it's not the temperature. It's not the temperature getting hot and cold.
Sometimes it doesn't even come on at all.
Okay.
Like there's one time during the week, I'd turn on and nothing. So
I'm wondering.
But what?
Yeah, I'm wondering more about voltage, if he's got getting some voltage issues with the thing. So
okay, that could be. So Dan Wicks is throwing out here maybe a throttle position sensor. Very, very good call on that one too, Dan. So okay, Thurman, let's get that thing in here and see what we can figure out for you and
figure out what the deal is there.
Okay.
So yeah, what's your option that if you were going to get a different vehicle that's got to have this?
I'd say probably the heated seats.
Heated seats.
Yeah, the auto engine shut off thing with I'd have PTSD if that thing shut off that light. And I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I get it.
Understand that. Well, we'll get this package mailed out to you and get that thing in here and figure out what's going on with it. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
James, happy New Year, buddy. Thanks for calling in, man.
You too, guys.
See you, buddy. All right, let's keep the phones ringing. And Jason Cox, Happy New Year to you too. And Dan Wicks brought up the throttle position. Dan, tell us your favorite option you must have on that F-150 or that Super Duty that you must have if you trade it again. I know you're going to trade again, so it's not if, it's just when you're going to trade again. So, Dan, calling you out. Calling you out. Tim Daniel, I'm calling you out too. What's your number one option you'd have to have if you traded your 21 F-150 Limited off on hybrid off, King Ranch off? What would the number one thing you'd have to have on the next truck you got? Calling you out. Double R, I'm calling you out too. 316-462-3673. Let's go. Greg Murray, you're doing a lot of chit-chatting over here, but buddy, let's get on the phone. Tell us your favorite option or must-have option. Or gentlemen, it's whatever was your most exciting thing that happened to you in 2022. Let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. So anyway, we talked a little bit about Chili Bowl coming up. With these guys get on the phone here and get their call out going here. So please pay attention to our Facebook page. We will be having that contest to get on the Chili Bowl. And again, we have tickets for every day from the Chili Bowl. Of course, Saturday's probably going to be a little rough to get tickets for Saturday.
Yep.
And maybe Friday too. We'll have to see how our employees are. We're going to throw this out to employees too first and that sort of thing too. And then we'll let you know what days we got left, how many we got left to give that out. But I hate to tell you, when you're an employee here, you got a little step up on maybe getting a chance to get some tickets to go to the Chili Bowl from that standpoint. So keep an eye on our Facebook page and make sure we you liked our page and be ready to see that contest come out. I'm sure we'll be bringing out somewhere around Tuesday or Wednesday. So everything get ready to go from that part. Looks like we got Jason on the line. We'll get him here on the phone here real quick too. And
we'll get him patched through for sure. But yeah, if you've not had the opportunity to go to the Chili Bowl or haven't even seen it, just amazing. That's about the only thing that, as far as racing goes, like, you will not see any more action-packed, side by side, wheel to wheel. Like it's absolutely crazy watching them guys wheel them cars around that track. It is and then it's just so confined, and there's so many of them, and I mean they'll pile them up and clean them up and be back on the track racing again in about 2 minutes.
Yep, exactly. So all right, let's get the phones ringing. We're going to get God, who's coming through first?
Jason. Yeah.
We'll get Jason here through the line here, see what we got going on, and hopefully he's getting passed through here through the line here real quick. I called a few more people out, so let's see if they can get up and dial the phone number, 316-462-3673. And here we go.
Jason, you're on live with Under the Hood. How are you?
Morning, guys. Happy New Year.
Hey, same to you, buddy. It's almost that time.
So I got a question. So on the Ford F-150s, you see these stickers that says 4x4 and F-by-4 off-road. Is there a difference in the suspension on those trucks, or is it just different stickers?
Oh, it's different.
So is he?
He's talking about
clarification, 4x4 and then the FX4, right? Package.
There's also some that say 4x4 off-road too.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, there is a difference from that standpoint, and a lot of people get confused this, and I mean, every manufacturer's kind of got the same kind of situation, but the real big difference in our FX4 package versus a non 4x4 is it gives you a little bit stiffer shock, basically packaged in what it does, and then it adds skid plates underneath, and every year's a little bit different, whether it's just under the engine or whether it's on the transfer case or what it is, but most of the time it's for sure under the transfer case, a skid plate underneath there from that part. But it is definitely a better shock, or I should say a stiffer shock is what I should say on the FX4 package. And I would say
it's just a heavier suspension. Is that how you would classify it?
It's not really the suspension as much as the valving in the shock itself is stiffer to be able to handle different things going on, basically if you are going off-road or whatever from that standpoint. It used to blow me away back in the days when we were working on Chevrolets, and Chevrolet had the Z71 package, and guys wouldn't come into the service department and say, hey, I've got a Silverado. They would come in and say, hey, I got a Z71. I don't know how that is today. If it's the guys come in and say, I got the FX4 package. No, they come in and say they got the F-150, what trim level they had, but it's kind of the same thing. The Z71 package was the same thing. It was a shock and a skid plate package underneath those trucks. And now we're getting into the RST package that Chevrolet's got. And we got the Tremor package now, which is a lot more different than the just an FX4 package from that standpoint too. So now we're branching that into the trimmers into the
Yeah,
Ranger
trimmers
now.
in
It's an
just about
F-150. It's in the
everything.
Super Duty
A
and
Maverick or
Maverick.
that, yeah.
Maverick is Maverick's got a trimmer package too.
And then the Super Duties and
Super Duties and everything else too. So if my personal opinion, if I was buying an F-150 today, yes, it would have the FX4 package on it, no doubt. No doubt.
All right. Well, I appreciate the info, guys. Thank you. Have a good New Year.
Hey, you too,
if
buddy.
you were to get a different vehicle, what option would it have to have?
It would have to have 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I'm not going from a car to a truck. I'm just going to stick from F-150 guys. Sorry.
Yep, exactly. I hear you.
But I'll make sure that's got the F-4 package on my next trip, but that's way in the future.
I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, perfect. Well, thanks for calling, buddy. Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. You bet. Appreciate you too. All right, we'll get Dan patched through here next and see what Dan's favorite option is too. Greg Murray forgot about the Rattler, and that's right there. The F-150's got a Rattler package coming. I haven't seen any yet. They haven't started building them yet. Not sure when they're going to start building that Rattler, but it's another off-road package truck that Ford is coming out with, and we'll see how soon we get some of those or what that part too from that standpoint. So we'll see. So anyway, let's get Dan patched in here in just a few seconds here, and I called Dan out to see what his most favorite option is. So we'll see what his must-have has to be on that F-150 that he's driving today. I got a couple ideas. I'm just going to be interested to see what Dan comes up with and says that's his have to have option.
Yeah.
The trade. Or his, I mean, you have to, but you don't really have to. But anyway, getting Dan patched in here real quick, and maybe Dan was on hold a little bit too long. We'll see here in just a second. So anyway, 316-462-3673. Called a few of you out, and then got a couple of you calling in so far, and maybe they're not listening anymore. Maybe I need to send a little text to them. How much you think that guy out west out of here? What do you think he's listening on today?
That'd be north.
North and west.
Yeah, north.
Oh, you're talking way north.
Yeah, way north.
You're talking that bow tie guy way north.
Yeah, I know he's listening. I'm getting all sorts of texts from him.
Yeah, so. I wonder about the old boy out west out here.
Nah,
you think he's
still in bed?
He's still in bed.
You got Dan on the line here, though.
Morning, Dan. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
How are you guys doing?
You know, can't believe it's the last day of the year is what I can't believe.
I know this year has gone by so fast.
I know it's crazy. So,
yeah,
Dan,
it is. But I don't like the winter though. I don't like the cold.
God, me either. I'd rather much sweat than freeze. I can promise you that. So,
yeah, exactly.
So, Dan, what's your must-have option?
Well, I'm thinking. I don't think I have Blue Cruise on mine. Do you know? Do you remember?
Yeah, you do.
On my new truck.
You do. Yeah.
I do. Okay.
Yeah, you do have it.
I haven't driven enough. Only 300 miles, so I don't really.
Yeah, I get it.
No.
Yeah, you do have Blue Cruise on there. So the next time Jake comes over and does something, he'll have to set you up and show you how that works. And I tell you, I love the Blue Cruise. Of course, right around there in Hutch, I'm not sure how many
roads you're going
to have with Blue Cruise there in Hutch just yet. I know they're bringing out more roads all the time and everything else too. I do know that even 96 Highway is not Blue Cruise yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know what might be. That might be why you're not noticing it, Dan. There's probably not any roads.
Yeah, I didn't go anywhere. For one thing, I have a couple other questions. I talked to Josh about my marquee last week.
Yeah,
and it was the antifreeze was still green. It's been sitting for 30 years and never been started. So anyway, I opened up the radiator and it's green in there, but I replaced the radiator because it's just full of white crud.
Yep.
And then it was also leaking. But do you guys have a good way of flushing this whole engine system and the heater core? Because the heater doesn't get raw hot. Of course, I haven't replaced the thermostat yet either, though.
Yeah, we do have a great way to flush.
I kind of get that crud out of there.
Yeah.
You know?
So have you have replaced the radiator already?
Yeah, I put the new type in there.
Okay, good. Yeah, we can definitely flush that. We've got a great system through BG products that we get. We'll put some additive in there first to help break up all that crud and everything else too. But we do got a great flushing system, and it'll work with that, and then clean that thing up. And then what I would do, if my opinion is, I would flush everything out, and then I would open it up and put a new thermostat in there, and then put the new coolant back in. Is what I would do from that part.
Okay. But should I do that before I bring it over?
Well,
put the new thermostat in?
No, I would flush it and get everything out of it, then open it up and then put a new thermostat in is what I would do after I flushed it.
That's okay, so what I would do the flush.
What I'm worried about is if you all that crud and stuff like that, some of that will collect there at that thermostat and not be able to get out, even though there's a, the hole open. That's why I would like to flush it first and then open it up and get the thermostat out of there.
Okay, and also Josh and I talked about the number one cylinder is dead, and I put wires, cap, rotor, and all that on there. Of course, I ran a compression test, and there's no compression. Number one, I pulled a valve cover. I've got good valve travel. I pulled the rocker off, so rod's not bent or anything. I'm thinking about, I hate to open it up, but I'm thinking I might need to pull that head and see if something's wrong with one of those valves. And I think it's the intake, because when it pops back through the carburetor.
Yeah, probably the next thing I would want to do, since there's no compression, let's do a leak down on it. Let's see if it's going out the intake, going out the exhaust, or if it's going down in the oil pan, see whether we've lost some rings or whatever. And then if it is the valves, I mean, I would, pull the head and do a valve job on that. What year's that thing again? 70?
77.
77.
Has 20,000 miles on
it. Yeah. And who knows? It might be a deal too. Yeah, it's been setting so long. Maybe we got a piece of carbon holding the valve open too. That could be it too.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
So what do you think I should do?
Yeah, if you've got no compression on that engine, I think we better haul it over here.
I mean, idle's rough, but once you get going down the road, I drove it yesterday up to 60 and all around, it was fine. But as soon as you go to stop sign, it's got that, it's missing on one. So
yeah.
So do you think I should bring it over and have them do the PG stuff to it and sit that cylinder come up? Well, clean off, or
I would say let's do that leak down and then see where we're losing compression at. And then let's say it is a valve. It is
not a piston ring.
Yeah. If it is a valve, then we can try to run some cleaner through it in case it is a piece of carbon or something there holding that thing open, and see what that does. See if that changes. If it's not, then that head's probably going to have to come off and figure out what happened there.
Yeah, if it said that many years, it might have stopped when he turned it off. That valve might have been open all these years.
And that's very true. It could be open, and it's
depends on where the cam's set at the time when it shut off.
Yep. And if it had some humidity or condensation inside the intake or whatever, and it opened up and it's set right on that valve too, that's very possible. Very possible.
So you want me just to bring it over and
do
what we can do with it, and then I can pull the head off then.
Yeah, I'd be probably addressing the engine part of it first.
Yeah, before I'd even do the flush or anything.
Worried about any of that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pull that valve cover off, and you can tell it's 20,000. It's still clean in there. The engine's super clean inside.
Yep. Exactly.
But, I'll get scheduled to get it over there to you.
Okay. Well, that sounds good, Dan. And Happy New Year to you.
Have you check the alignment, because it kind of, when you're driving down the highway at 65 or 70, it kind of, I guess I'm not used to driving those little cars, but it's kind of, it works to keep it on the road,
Yep.
But the front end's all tight and everything. I don't know what it could be, but I'll have you guys check it out.
Okay. That sounds good, buddy. All right, Dan, thanks for calling.
When's the best time to bring that thing in?
The sooner the better, buddy, is what I'm going to tell you. The sooner the better we can get it over and take a look at it and see where you're at, okay?
Can you guys just pick it up then sometime?
Yeah, we can do that too. We'll get that arranged with you on. Of course, we're closed Monday and Tuesday, or Sunday and Monday. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. And so we'll get a hold of you Tuesday and figure out time to get it over here, okay?
They say it runs great. I mean, I think we drive it over there. I think it'd be a problem.
Okay. Yeah, we'll drive it over. And who knows if it's a piece of carbon by then, maybe if it is, it'll probably work its way out of there by that time of driving that 50 miles over here.
That'd be awesome.
Okay. Dan, we'll get a hold of you Tuesday.
Alrighty.
All right, buddy.
All right. You guys have a Happy New Year.
You too, buddy. Happy New Year to you guys. Talk to you soon, buddy.
All righty. All right.
Bye. All right. Let's get next caller coming up. I believe it's Delbert, right?
Yeah, I got Delbert coming through here, and see what his must-have option would be.
I'm curious what old Delbert's going to have
in a new vehicle, or if he'd see what he'd get.
Be interested to see what he's got coming up here. So we'll get Delbert passed in. I think Greg's holding on the line there. So Greg, hang tight, buddy. We'll get with you. Rex Strigaro, haven't seen him from you a couple weeks here. Rex, how you doing, buddy? Hope everything's all right. And Greg brings up twin turbos. Delbert.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you, buddy?
Let me turn this mute on here. Sorry.
Yeah, a little background noise there going, don't we? That's all right. How's everything in Oklahoma, buddy?
Two guys in the background talking. I don't know who they are,
Yeah, I don't either. Hey, we're going to be in your fair city here.
Sick all week, so
yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, me too.
Next couple, and the 14th, we're going to be in your fair. See, you're in Oklahoma City,
he's
though,
in
aren't you?
Oklahoma City.
We're going to be in Tulsa live with a show on the 14th.
Are
the
ya?
Chili Bowl.
That's
Yes.
not too
So excited for that.
Maybe
So,
I can get up there.
yeah, maybe so. And so, Delbert, what's your must-have option that you'd have to have if you were trading cars today?
Well, I'm not familiar with this Blue Cruise you're talking about, but definitely Adaptive Cruise.
Adaptive Cruise, I get none. Let me tell you what Blue Cruise does is it actually lets go of the steering wheel and it drives it for you.
It lets you let go of the steering wheel. It doesn't let go of the steering wheel.
Okay, I didn't say that very right, did I?
Yeah.
But now what I will tell you, because I've played with it quite a bit, and if you kind of start jacking around, not paying attention with your eye, because it watches your eyes and sees if you're paying attention to the road, and it'll come up and tell you to, hey, keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah, get your head up.
And then if you keep ignoring it, it will actually jab the brakes because it thinks you're asleep, basically, and jabs the brakes to wake you up or make you get attention. And then if you keep ignoring that, it does shut you down and pull you down to zero. So, and trust me, I've tested it, and it does do that. So, and let me tell you,
I like my Adaptive Cruise that I got, but I don't think it stops me if something happens, but it does slow you down quite a bit.
Yeah, depending on the years, how they first come out with some of the Adaptive Cruise, they would go down to like 20 mile an hour. Now they've got the newer ones, it goes all the way down to zero. So if you're setting at a stop sign, you just hit the resume button and it just takes you right back off again, back up to your speed.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, all right, Adaptive Cruise, and got any big plans for tonight or anything there, Delbert?
Yeah, I'm gonna drive, pick up some people, and take them places, and
oh, that's right, I forgot. You actually
keep them safe.
Are you Uber or Lyft?
I'm Lyft.
You're Lyft. Okay. Well, Delbert, thank you very much for keeping everybody safe out there as best you can, and everything else too. So I've told a lot of people to whatever you do, Uber or Lyft, do whatever it is. Do not be driving around this evening. So
yes, sir, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I do have a short question. I hope it's short.
Okay.
So I tried to install some HID aftermarket lights in my Fusion 2020, and with the power on, not engine running, the lights will come on. But as soon as I start the engine, the lights come on temporarily and then they go off and they won't come back on. Any idea if that's the computer thinking that, hey, there's too much voltage, too little voltage, something to that to shut those lights down? Or
yeah. So, and what did you take out of it?
LEDs, just regular LEDs. It's standard H11 halogen is what's supposed to be in there.
Yeah, there's something in the load that is different on those bulbs, and I'm guessing the computer is just going through and dropping it, shutting the module down that powers that up, because it's not sensing enough load, or it's sensing too much load, and it's a circuit protection from that side of it. So was this a kit that you bought, or?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it came with everything you're supposed to need and plug and play, and it's like, it does work with them, with the engine not running, but as soon as you start the engine, it'll shut down them lights.
And then
so
it's got its own.
That's telling me the computer's telling it to shut down.
Yeah, and it's got its own module, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
I would say there's either something wrong with the wiring, but if the factory wires worked with the previous headlights, then I would say it's probably in the module that came with.
Yeah, I agree.
With the kit would be my guess.
Yeah, the BCM is picking up a different voltage and shutting it down is what it's doing.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
So,
but is there see, these lights are terrible in this car. They are just terrible. I even got the LEDs, which are a little bit brighter, but there's a lot of dark spots. And whether you got the halogens or the HIDs, LEDs in there. So I don't know what's inside those that are keeping those dark spots there. I mean, I got no side view at all with lights. I mean, it's like I can't see the side of the road at all with these lights.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to figure out some way, like Rex is saying here too, if there's a resistor we can put in line there or something that can do that to help hold those lights on for you. I'm with you. The brighter the lights, I mean, I get in these older cars today and I don't know how we drove before with all these yellow lights we have compared to these bright white ones we got now. I get it from that part. So we need to figure out some way of telling that BCM what's going on there so it doesn't shut them down. I know that's what's happening.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is what is happening. So if we can ever figure that out, I can put those lights in, and hopefully they're better than what I got, because nighttime driving kind of terrible as you get older anyway. And then you got lights that don't really shine where they need to shine. I'm actually considering getting one of those little bars and put underneath the opening there in the bottom.
Oh, the light bars.
Yeah, so I could see.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point too. That part. Well, maybe next time you bring it up here, we'll take in. Hey, I think I got the perfect answer, and so does Rex. Rex is coming up with the perfect answer, Delbert. It's time to trade it in.
Yeah, I agree, but I got to be able to find something that Ford has that I can use for what I do, because the Explorer's too big. The Edge is kind of like on the edge of being not good enough for gas mileage.
I don't know. I think you need to check out the new Escape. We got the new 23 Escape. They're just starting to build them now. Should have them here in the showrooms the next couple, 2-3 weeks. Too small.
They're too small. They're smaller than the 2019 I had.
I don't know. Probably better check out these new ones. They've done a lot of changes to these new ones, buddy.
The other thing is the Bronco Sport.
Bronco Sport. There's another idea for you.
That is an idea, but they're a lot of money.
It's got to drive some more, Delbert. Pay that thing off for that lift.
Well, I'm over halfway paid off, but shoot.
I hear you.
Takes a little while down here. They just don't pay very well down here, so we're just doing the best we can with what we got. You know how it is.
There you go.
Well, Delbert, have a happy new year. Come see us sometime soon, or if you can come see us the 14th at the Chili Bowl live down there, be great. Or just come see these races or whatever. Be great to see you, buddy.
Definitely come do that.
All right, sounds good, buddy.
All right, guys, have a happy new year, and I'll see you next year.
You too. That's right. See you next year, buddy.
Bye.
All right, I hope Greg's still hanging on, and we'll get Greg patched in here real quick, and kind of running out of time here real fast, but we'll get Greg patched in here in just a few seconds here real quick. But again, remember, Chili Bowl's coming up the whole week of the 8th through the 14th. Watch our Facebook page for details of that. The other thing, Josh, I want to talk about, but I think we're running out of time, is this week the Fair Board announced the last Hutch Nationals coming up at the Hutch Fairgrounds, and a lot of turmoil, a lot of, I don't know what you want to say about that. I hate it.
A lot of opinions.
There you go. A lot of opinions. So looks like we got
opinions.
Greg coming through. Let's get Greg on the line.
Greg, you're live with Under the Hood. Sorry about the wait there.
Okay. Hello. Hey, I've got a problem with my 2012 Mustang. The radio quit playing and time flashes. And looking on the internet, looks like Ford's had a problem with that.
A 2012 Mustang, and you said that so are you getting any power on the display at all or anything?
It shows the time flashes and time's correct.
But it just flashes at you.
It flashes at me.
Does it
and
play?
The radio's dead.
No, the radio is dead.
The radio's dead. CD player's dead. It'll take a CD in and eject it, but it won't play it. But the time flashes.
Yeah, I was trying to think back on those. On the 12, I think, isn't that a split display? So like the knobs are there's a couple of different radio options there. So does this have a full like nav screen on this one or no?
No,
Okay.
It doesn't have the nav.
Okay. And then so it's just basically about 6 or 8 inches tall.
Correct.
That display is, yeah.
The display itself's only about 3 inches.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I meant the whole radio is about 6 or 8 inches
The whole radio.
tall. Yeah. And then does that one does yours have the 6-disc changer in it, or is it just the single disc?
I think it's the 6-disc.
Yeah.
How many CDs is? Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm not sure.
with that particular unit, when basically there's no serviceable parts. There are some options out there for to send them out to have them refurbished or remanufactured, but it's aside from doing that and being without a radio or that, having that hole in your dash for a couple of weeks, the only other thing would just be a replacement unit with that. Different price options there, depending upon which one you would want to use or choose. If the display is on and flashing, it's a pretty good indication that there's something inside of the radio that's it's getting voltage and everything like that, and there's something inside the radio that's causing the issue as well. So we'd be more than happy to take a look at it at no charge to you. Just make sure that there isn't a fuse or something odd or weird that's causing it. But I'm going to say that we're probably going to find an internal fault in the radio itself and get you a couple of different options on either having that one repaired or getting it replaced for you. So.
Okie doke.
But we'll add that onto your package and get that sent out to you. So is there
Okay.
If you were to purchase a new vehicle today or get a different vehicle today, what option would it must have?
Well, I'm not sure. Just what comes on them, pretty much the standard is good enough. I don't use the heated seats very often. I have them, but I'm just waiting for the chips to get available to get the new prices down to trade it in.
Yeah,
with you there too.
It's
the craziest time. I'm telling you, Greg. I've never seen this in crazy, and I've been doing this a long time, and everything else, and it's crazy. But the used car market is starting to come down a little bit as I watch it every day and stuff like that too. We're gaining. We got a little ways to go, but I still think we got another year of still trying to get this chip thing under control.
That's hard to understand if they can't gear up the production.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Especially as a mass production country as we are, I guess, from that side of it for sure. So I agree with you on that side.
Okie doke.
All right, Greg. Thanks for the call. All right, we got one more caller coming through, and
we'll get Dick patched through here and see what he's got going on or what's on his
mind
as well. So got a lot of great calls today for sure, and it's can't believe it's the last day of 2022. Just this year has just flown by. That's for sure. So
I can't get it. Okay,
we'll go back to the phones and let's talk to Dick. Dick, you're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hi, guys.
Hello, sir.
Okay, so I guess for me, the option would be the heated seat.
Heated seats must have. Yep.
Well, we use those a lot. I have it in the Focus RS came with them.
Yep.
And the Ranger has them. The thing that we missed on the Ranger, after the fact, we didn't realize how much we liked it, but I do have it on the RS. It's not on the Ranger because we didn't get the Lariat, but that's the keyless entry where you just touch the door handle.
Oh, yeah.
And
open it up and away you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the push button start, I don't like having to flip the key out and put it in the steering column.
Yeah.
It's got remote start and everything, but
still got to put that key in there, don't you?
Yeah, it's an extra step. It's not, to me, it's not user friendly to have to, reach my head around or try to feel, where's the key go. And I'm jamming it on the steering column, scratching things up. But anyways, that's a couple of things. The one thing I do like on the Ranger is, and you talked about that, that adaptive cruise control. That's real handy on a long trip where you get in some stop and go traffic or some real slow moving traffic. But what happens to me is, without realizing, I get stuck behind a row of cars or a semi that's only doing 55 or 60, and I want to do 70 or 75, and I don't realize it because it's keeping a distance, and I'm enjoying the drive. Next thing I know,
Yeah.
I'm not moving.
You and many people are in that same boat.
Same boat, right?
Whoops.
Yep. Whoops is right. That's
So,
exactly right.
But yeah, it's amazing how many feature comforts that you just get accustomed to until they're not here. You know, the intelligent access and that, you know, push button start. That's one of those things that to go back, it's you almost view it as a hassle. And then to think back, you know, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, it was just normal, you know. But if you gotta go back and stick your key in the door or in the ignition,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's almost inconvenience, so to speak, for sure.
Yep.
So
Well, sort of like the cramps in your ankle for trying to hold a steady speed before they had cruise control.
before they had cruise control.
I still remember going to Dallas to Six Flags over Texas with a 68 Chevelle Malibu. And there was 7 of us in that car, and I still remember no cruise control. I remember my dad running down the road with his left foot on the gas.
Yep.
You had to change your feet.
Yeah, the foot got tired of holding her down.
Up.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
very good. Enjoy the comments, Dick. Thanks for the phone call, and have a wonderful new year.
Happy New Year. Thanks a lot, guys.
Talk to you soon.
We'll catch you later.
All right, great calls, great time, and called a few people out, and they just didn't call in, Josh. We have
Yeah.
to bust them up even
Oh.
harder for that situation. So, hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's been a fantastic 2022. Can't wait for see what 2023 is going to bring. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as I guess how we got to say this, we'll talk to you next year.
There you go.
Everybody, be safe and Happy New Year, and let's bring on 2023.